So there's no denying the fact that fragrances can go in and out of style, because after all, fragrances can be kind of like style trends, right? It's very popular in the fashion industry. There will be a certain style that is trending for a while, everyone gets on board with it, and then after a while, people just kind of forget about it altogether. There are certain styles and ways of dressing that are timeless and work for years and years and years, and there are also some styles that are in and out within a matter of months, and people don't really talk about it anymore. And fragrances are the same way. So in this video, I'm going to be going over 10 clean, timeless fragrances that are still working now and are going to continue to work well for years to come. So these are basically fragrances that don't smell dated now and that probably aren't really going to smell dated or go out of style within a few years from now. Because just like that nice suit and tie look that is never going to go out of style, you know, some of these fragrances aren't going to either. So before we jump into this list, if you're new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also turn on post notifications and like the video. And now that we've got all that out of the way, let's go and jump right into this list. So we're going to start off with the first scent here, and we're not going to be doing this in any particular order. I'm just going to list out 10 of them as we go. First one is Chanel Allure Homme Sport. So this scent came out a while back, and even now to this day, over 10 years later, this scent is still killing it. A nice citrus aldehydic fresh fragrance with a little bit of a sweet undertone as well. It's very clean, it's very masculine, and honestly, it's one that you just can't beat. This smells great on a 16-year-old and it smells great on a 60-year-old. Pretty much anyone can pull this scent off, any age, any situation, any time of year, and you know, it's going to continue to work like that 10 years from now. This DNA is incredible and it's about what you would expect from Chanel. Amazing, amazing scent, and definitely one that everyone should look into having in their collection. You really got a nice piece of history right here. This one is awesome and it's my first pick. Second fragrance here, we have Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme. So this is a very clean, fresh, and somewhat spicy masculine scent. Every time I smell this fragrance, I just think of a gentleman. I think of a timeless, elegant gentleman. That's really the type of image that this fragrance puts off. This is another one that's been out for a while now, and even now to this day, it still smells like it just did years ago when it first came out. Doesn't smell dated, doesn't smell old school. This is another one where I would say just about anyone can pull this off, whether you're younger or older, any situation, any time of the year, it just works and gets the job done great. And this is another scent where I really love and respect the DNA. You know, it's one that I personally can't be without, and one that I would recommend everyone should check out as well. This is definitely a staple that really everyone should own in their collection, whether they're new to collecting or whether they're pretty serious about it. I would say that pretty much everyone should have a bottle of L'Homme, and I'm sure a lot of you do. So this is my second pick for this list. Fantastic, fantastic, timeless scent. Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme. Third fragrance, we have Gucci Pour Homme 2. So this is a nice tea-based fragrance, and this is one that every time I smell it, you know, I'm reminded of how calming and cooling and just fresh this scent is. You know, when you smell this fragrance, it doesn't smell like it's been out for a while, but it doesn't smell like it was released recently either, you know. It just smells good, it just smells clean and fresh. Fantastic scent here from Gucci. Unfortunately, this one is discontinued, but is still very easy to find at about the $50 price point for a 100ml bottle like this one. Definitely another must-have. Really, really great scent, perfect for really spring and fall, in my personal opinion, kind of the transitional seasons when it's a little bit cool out. But realistically, this could easily be a signature scent that you could wear anytime you want to. Again, another timeless, clean fragrance here, Gucci Pour Homme 2. Fourth fragrance, we have MFK Masculine Pluriel. So this is a nice lavender, patchouli, musky, woody scent. So this one might kind of take some of you guys off guard because this one is a little bit more of a barbershop type of scent, something that some of you may consider to be a little bit dated smelling. And while this does have that type of quality like I just mentioned, at the same time, those barbershop type of fragrances still work to this day. A lot of people still reach for them, and a lot of companies are still releasing fragrances kind of based off that whole scent DNA. And what I like about this one in particular is it does have a little bit of a modern, fresh twist on it. You know, it is an MFK fragrance, so I would expect nothing but the best quality, and that's really what I get here. The quality is fantastic, the overall smell and blend is great, and it is something that is a little bit of a unique taste on that barbershop DNA. So even though this one may smell a little bit old to some of you, even though scents like this came out a long time ago, they're still working well now, and in my opinion, they're still going to be working well from years to come. So another really, really solid scent here. Definitely a really high quality barbershop type scent. If you're into MFK fragrances, highly recommend you check this one out. This one is really nice and really underrated. A lot of people tend to gravitate towards Baccarat Rouge 540 and stuff like Aqua Universalis Forte and scents like that. No one really talks about this one that much, and that's a shame because this one is fantastic. Fifth fragrance on the list, we have Creed Aventis. So this one was released 9 years ago, coming up on that 10-year mark. And even though this is getting up there in age, it still smells incredible. People are still wearing the hell out of this scent, and companies are still recreating this DNA. So whether or not you love it, whether or not you hate it, this is not going anywhere. And I don't see it going anywhere for a long, long time. Even if you try to forget about Aventis itself, there are so many other clones and alternatives out there that are still being released to this day, whether it be from Parfums Vintage or even from popular designer houses like with Mont Blanc Explorer that was just recently released this year. Companies aren't going to stop doing this, and the reason why is because Aventis is still a moneymaker. This stuff still kills it, even though it is almost 10 years old. Not dated at all, still smells fantastic, and just works so well. This DNA has been proven to work over and over again, and it's not going anywhere. So love it or hate it, you're just going to have to deal with it because this stuff is here to stay. And for me personally, I'm okay with that because it's one of my favorites. Timeless classic scent. Really a great masculine, assertive, upscale fragrance. Anyone out there who is wanting something to just make yourself known, give you a nice presence, and really just kind of give you an elegant type of feel and smell, Aventis is definitely the way to go. Sixth fragrance we have is Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense. So I'm going with the Intense version here. You could also go with the original Light Blue. Really, those two to me are kind of interchangeable. I personally prefer the Intense version. Some of you may prefer the OG, but really this DNA in general is one that's going to be around and here to stay. The original Light Blue for men was very successful, and then the follow-up flanker to it, Light Blue Eau Intense, the Eau de Parfum, and this darker blue colored fragrance was very successful as well. It doesn't get much more clean and fresh and easy to wear than the Light Blue fragrance. This stuff kills it. The woman's version is very successful as well. And whether you love it or hate it, this scent has really paved the way in terms of, making mainstream aquatic fragrances. This scent has really paved the way and kind of put its footprint in the fragrance community, and it's going to be here for a long time. So, Light Blue Eau Intense, fantastic DNA, great scent. The seventh fragrance we have is Rosa Parfums Elysium. So this one got a lot of hype due to people comparing it to Aventis and similar fragrances, so that kind of helped give it a kickstart in the community. And, in my personal opinion, all of that hype and attention was definitely well deserved. This is a beautiful, clean, citrus, vetiver, musky fragrance with some woods, and it smells just timeless. It smells so elegant, so classy, so upscale. This one just smells like pure luxury. And that's something that's hard to put a time frame on. This scent smells fantastic now. It hasn't been out that long, and it's going to continue to be popular and to be people's favorites for years to come. Eighth fragrance we have is Aqua de Joe Profumo. So this one, of course, is a flanker to the very popular and very successful Aqua de Joe. What I love so much about Profumo is the fact that it still does take that nice DNA, that DNA that was proven to work by millions of people, and just kind of bumped up the performance by adding a little bit of a dark and spicy touch to it. To be honest with you, they really couldn't have done a better job at kind of recreating the scent and rebottling it into something that was very successful, just like Aqua de Joe. This stuff has killed it in the community. It's been a lot of people's favorites. It was one of my top favorites for the longest time until I kind of started to branch out a little bit. But now I've been coming back around to it and really starting to enjoy this one like I used to. And I really realized, that I can still come back to the scent after not really touching it for like over a year, after smelling a bunch of different stuff. And, I still appreciate the scent. And to me, that really says something about this DNA. This one just works. It smells fantastic. It performs very good. And this DNA is not going anywhere. What I love so much about Profumo is, again, that darker quality that it has makes it more wearable for all age ranges. It has more of a mature type of smell with that patchouli and that incense, and that like spiciness. But it does still have that aquatic Aqua de Joe DNA, which is young, playful, and can work great for younger guys as well. So this scent is definitely not going anywhere anytime soon, and I'm perfectly okay with it. Great scent, perfect signature scent, perfect scent for someone who only wants a couple fragrances. Definitely would recommend you this one, Aqua de Joe Profumo, timeless classic scent. Up next here we have Dior Cologne. So this is probably one of the most simplistic fragrances that I've put my nose on. This one's only got 3 notes to it, and this is one that just smells so clean, so simple, and so fresh. It would be impossible for this one to smell old and dated. This is one that I reach for a lot in the warm weather, and even 10 years from now, as long as I'm still able to get my hands on this fragrance, it's one that I'll reach for in the warm weather as well. Quite a few other brands have made fragrances similar to this one. Mercedes-Benz Cologne, which is my favorite alternative. There's Jimmy Choo Man Ice. There's Chanel Allure Sport Cologne, which I'm not actually sure which one of those came out first. I'd have to double check that. They both are relatively similar. And then, of course, there's also a few Zara fragrances which get pretty similar to this one. I haven't tried them. That's just kind of what I've heard. So again, that just kind of goes to show that, you know, this one is very successful. A lot of people love it, and people are going to love it for years to come. And finally, the last fragrance in this list, we're ending it off with another Dior fragrance. This one is Dior Sauvage. A lot of people were loving it, a lot of people were hating it, and ever since this has been released, it has really kind of changed how other companies release fragrances. And ever since this one was released, it has really kind of paved the way for a lot of other fragrances very similar to this one. This has really taken that ambroxan note and popularized it so much so that pretty much every company out there is making some sort of ambroxan-based fragrance. A lot of people have said it kind of has that fresh, clean shower gel type of smell, and it really does. I mean, it just smells clean, fresh out of the shower. A lot of people aren't going to think much of it. So definitely a timeless scent. This one really has kind of changed the community a lot. So guys, that was it for this video. That was 10 clean, timeless fragrances that everyone should own in their collection. You can basically pick up these 10 fragrances and be set and not have to worry about smelling dated down the road. You can basically pick up these 10 fragrances and be set and not have to worry about any trends dying down. So let me know down below in the comments which fragrances you would put into this list. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. So if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave a like down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a night post. That's going to do it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.